Lately, we've been getting pummeled by the Indian Ocean.
It's officially the Wild West Coast now.
It's just us, our cat, and our 10-metre sailboat, slowly but surely beating our way south against the strong prevailing wind towards the bottom of the globe.
These are moments that are truly testing.
We've lost our engine.
We've got bad fuel.
That's meant to be clear there.
Our autopilot.
I think Chili's knocked some wires out.
And critical deck lines. But after a short and sweet stop for repairs,
we've sucked all the gunk out of the bottom of the tank. Now it's time to hope for the best.
we're pushing back offshore, sailing towards a cluster of remote islands.
Pretty excited. This is a place that I've always really wanted to come to.
Which proved to be a slice of paradise amongst the wild, vicious and unpredictable Indian Ocean.
Woohoo! WA.
I'm Soph and this is my partner Slim.
Take your underwear off, whack it on your head. Good to go.
We're two full-time uni students taking on a circumnavigation of Australia. Our start line is now 3,619 nautical miles behind us, which means when we arrive at the Abrolhos Islands, we will be well and truly over halfway.
3,200 nautical miles to go.
But something tells me the next 3,226 nautical miles will be our most challenging. So we're savouring every sip of this cold beer on the remote island of Durkartog, knowing we're soon to pick up the anchor once again.
We've just seen that we've hit 26 degrees south. That means we are officially below the cyclone line, which is really exciting because for the last 2 years we've been stuck for 6 months throughout the cyclone season. Anytime you go out you have a sweat moustache, and I'm pretty sure my eyeballs are literally like leaking sweat, or maybe that's my tears from how hot it is. However, this year we can just keep on sailing throughout that period of time. We are well and truly getting south now, and the cold wind and air and the jumpers are a bit of a testament to that.
Today we're heading just 15 miles towards Steep Point, the gateway for us to get back on the Indian Ocean. We'll position ourselves at Shelter Bay, so when a weather window presents itself, we can make a move.
It's nice in the sun. She's having fun. See, sailing like this, where you got no sail up and just motoring around in the bay, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. 6.5. 7.
Shelter Bay, this is a really nice bay. It looks like we're just about to go really shallow here. Shelter Bay looks really quite beautiful. Yeah, I'm glad we got to stop in here. The water is just so beautiful here, super clear, and you've got the ocean right there, so you can imagine very filtered and beautiful.
We're going to be here in Shelter Bay for a few days while we wait for the weather. As we have a blow coming very shortly, which means we'll be on windlock aboard the boat, we want to make sure we check out this place while the wind is placid and the sun is shining.
We couldn't help ourselves, we had to come have a little squiz of this bay. It reminds us so much of the Montebellos with these low-lying islands. Wow, there's so many oysters on there.
Surely there'd be a cray underneath that.
Whoa, that sounds so cool, hey?
It's cool, eh? It's like a little water feature.
Slim has been getting more and more angsty to go diving to get crayfish.
The palate is well and truly craving lobster again, so crayfish, lobster, whatever you want to call it, we'll try and catch some.
Woo! We had our first taste for crayfish back in the Montebello Islands.
Oh, that's f***ing awesome. This is my first ever lobster.
Which has made us super eager to hunt and gather some more. I look like a bit of an egg, but we are heading off for a dive. We've been dropped a pin for a good dive spot. This is apparently where we can find lots of crayfish. So we're gearing up and we're now in full wetsuits because the water temperature is getting icier and icier. So this suit's a 3 mil. This should hopefully keep me nice and warm in the water. We're heading 2 miles up the road, almost to where the Indian Ocean meets Shark Bay.
This coastline is so windswept and wild. There's a little fox just there. Not sure if you can see that.
Plans can sometimes be executed perfectly. Today, though, is not a good example of that. I don't think we're expecting that we'd be so exposed to the swell, which almost ended us up in a surf break.
Oh, baby, baby, baby. The ocean is just through that gap, which means it's just funneling through here.
The dive spot we were told to go to is unattainable due to breaking waves.
That is definitely a pretty promising spot. It's just a bit of a no-go with the swell today. I think there's like a 4.5 metre swell, so...
While Slim went to check out another promising ledge that he saw, this huge squall cloud began to creep over us.
It looks like we've been squalled out!
I can't see right now.
Struggling to see with raindrops piercing our eyes, we goggled up and made a dash for it back to the boat because we realised we hadn't closed our hatch. Nothing's too wet in here, it's good.
Alright, no success just yet. Not successful.
At this point, we should probably just give up, but we've already suited up, so we thought we may as well see if there was anything cool lurking underwater by the rocks closest to the boat. You can't win them all, but to our surprise, we did see a cuttlefish. The weather only deteriorated further, locking us inside the boat as the blow blew its way through. Getting stuck inside in these conditions will most likely make you go stir crazy. But people wonder when we have time to study. It's in these conditions we try to get everything we need done. Wind against tide creates a bumpy ride in this anchorage, but compared to the waves that we can see crashing across the bar, this is placid. It's a game of patience as we wait 5 days for our weather window to finally emerge. Which means we can finally emerge too. Morning.
Morning. The race is on this morning. 2 catamarans have already left, but that doesn't matter because they were going to Geraldton. We're going to the Abrolhos, along with Miles on a morning song and Tor and Jackie from Hagar. So if you don't know who they are yet, then you haven't been watching enough of our videos. But yeah, we get to race today. They're on bigger boats and we've somehow this trip managed to be keeping in front of them. But the main race is right now. Miles always sleeps in, so hopefully we get a head start on him. I can see Tor up on deck getting ready, so let's get ready to go because the main race happens in the anchorage before you go, I reckon.
Who can lift the anchor?
Who can lift the anchor, yeah.
are off. We're heading to the Abrolhos, 145 miles. Hopefully we'll be there tomorrow, but who knows with this wind. It's pretty light right now, which is great. We'll try and make the miles while it lasts, and then we'll see what happens from there, I guess. At the moment, a weather window for us is headwinds of 15 to 20 knots and less. So we know we're not in for a great sail this trip, but it's the best we've got. So we've got to take it. Anyway, first obstacle is this bar off Steep Point. Bit of a surf break going on. Hopefully we won't be in that surf break. Trying to avoid that surf break. But there's a clear path in between the surf breaks, so we're going to take that path. And then we're in the ocean. Fun. Steep Point is mainland Australia's most westerly point, and it's something we've been wary of for a while now after hearing local sailors warning that things can get gnarly off here. Firstly, this is a bar crossing, which means you've got ocean swell meeting shallow water, creating surf like this. So you have to choose your day wisely to pass through.
Good morning song, good morning song. Yeah, so that turbulence is just marking the bank. Our depth got as low as 2.8 metres under keel. Over. No dramas. Yeah, depth comes back pretty quick after that. We're already in 15 metres again. Over.
And secondly, these cliffs act as a wall for the swell that's been unimpeded since Africa to rebound off, creating quite a vicious washing machine. The advice is, get through the bar and head well offshore. Holy moly, some of these waves are so big! It's only once we begin to clear Steep Point that we truly feel the effects of the confused water. We're just trying to motor into it the best we can. We're just cracked off the wind ever so slightly so we can actually make some ground. The swell's a little bit confused off these cliffs, off Steep Point, but getting a little bit better. As we slowly continue further offshore, the sea state settles. We've decided while the wind is so light, we'll make miles in the right direction, which means motoring straight into it. We don't want to be caught out here as this lighter weather turns into some stronger southerlies tomorrow afternoon. So we really need to make the most of this while it lasts. So far we're managing to make our course. We're just literally motoring straight into it. So we're just going to keep on going like this for a little while, see how we go. So as long as Nakama is managing a consistent 4 to 5 knots, we're happy just plodding along like this.
While it's nice, somewhat nice and calm, and we're just, you know, fairly chill, Simon's trying to study for his exam because it's in a couple of days' time, so hopefully we can get in before then.
Yeah, really hoping we get in before then. Normally I'd spend these last 2 days before an exam like desperately cramming. I figure I'll do some now because once we start watches I'll be too tired. So it's so far from ideal, it's ridiculous. But yeah, there's only a weather window once a week at the moment. I knew this would happen. At least it's not fallen on the exam day, but
we'll get in before then, don't worry.
We'll get in before. Very much hoping it stays like this, but not taking any chances. Going to get some study done while I can. Because, yeah. Anyway, speaking of.
While Slim madly crams his brain full of injustices, statutes, and things my brain can't comprehend, I'm doing a bit of my own study. I'm reading Batavia, a story of mutiny, murder, and sex slavery that happened as a result of the wrecking of the Batavia ship. You wouldn't believe it, but this book is extremely relevant to where we're heading to.
The story of this place is just so obscure and so obscene and outrageous. It's like the Titanic, but on steroids. Just ridiculous in every level.
we're super excited to witness and share with you the location where this brutality took place. So if you guys want to get up to speed with one of Australia's most unknown but captivating historical events, then we'll leave a link in the description below for a bit of homework for you to get done before we explore the very site of where this all unfolded in our next episode.
Hoo-yah! That's how they would have attacked. No, with slingshots. We're still motoring into it. We haven't really bothered sailing today. We figured if we're managing to keep 4 to 4.5 knots to 5 knots, then we'll keep going in this direction. If we are struggling and dropping below that, then we'll have to start sailing. But so far so good, slowly beating our way through it in the right direction. And yeah, I'm still reading, trying to catch up on my study. Nothing really much has been going on today, hey? Do you have anything to report?
All I would say is that this coast has become more of an opponent than a comrade, you know what I mean? Something we're just trying to overcome. We're a couple more jumps away from doing it. This jump, followed by an exam, followed by hopefully some exploring and lobster friend making, and then one more big jump until we can have a few weeks of respite and plan the next leg. This west coast has been hard. We never really put too much research into these things. We read the brochure and the brochure looked good. Don't trust the brochure though. Now that we've spoken to heaps of other people that have done this coast or done some pretty hectic sailing and stuff, and they're like, oh yeah, the west coast of Australia is the hardest, and you're like, oh, we knew it was going to be tough, but this has been actually really testing. Anyway, let's just motor into it.
So we did. And as for our race with Hagar and a morning song, well, it turned out to be more of a battle of who had the bigger engine. So Miles left us behind hours ago, and Hagar had a lazy start. So we're guaranteed a silver medal for this one. The wind stayed consistent through the night, slightly increasing if anything, but we were still happy with Nakama's speeds, ploughing through until morning.
It is getting really cold. Another night done on the west coast. Still motoring along. It's starting to pick up, there's a bit of a morning breeze, but maybe 16, 17 knots at this stage, so we're still able to push into it, thankfully.
Morning! What a beautiful day. We're only 35 miles away from the Abrolhos, so that's pretty good. Wind is predicted to increase, so I'm not sure if we'll be able to do what we're doing when that happens.
The wind continued to increase, bringing with it a short and sharp swell, which has Nakama struggling to build momentum.
We've just laid sight on one of the first Abrolhos Islands, the most northern Abrolhos Island. Oh my god, we are not making good ground at the moment. We've come this far though, we're just punching into it. We're just getting stopped and we get down to 2.5 knots, and then we have to try and build momentum again. Almost there, I think we're under 15 miles now, so not too far. Yeah, pretty keen to see these islands. Pretty damn keen to see these islands. We haven't really had island life for a while. Oh no, that's not true. We just were on an island.
Sheep?
They've given him a mullet or something. He ran away halfway through getting sheared.
Different island group, and these ones are going to be good. Yeah.
Nakama, getting drawn to a halt by these waves, is now only averaging about 2 to 3 knots. So it's time to get the head sail out and crack off the wind just that little bit. Which Nakama responds pleasantly to, lurching us forward and punching through the waves with ease.
Picked up to about 20 knots. We just were not making any ground. We're doing about 2 knots. We'll have to be sailors for this last little bit, you know?
Luckily, we only need to be sailors for a few miles. As we line up with Turtle Bay, our anchorage for the night, we can furl the head sail back away and punch into it towards the island.
2.5 miles to go.
Rocking up to somewhere you know is going to be beautiful is always exciting, especially after a long night on the ocean. You just hope the anchorage is going to be calm and protected so you can comfortably call this place home until the next weather window arises.
The water's so clear, you get to see like the bobbies and the seagrass as you're cruising over the top of it. Pretty excited. This is a place that I've always really wanted to come to. This is one of those places that you think about when you plan a trip like this, or for us that we were thinking about when we planned this trip, if that makes sense.
As we creep into Turtle Bay, we're met with a sense of relief that we were so desperately craving.
This place is quite stunning.
With conditions deteriorating on the outside, this bay is completely protected from the prevailing wind, allowing Slim to peacefully sit his exam. Done? And with that done, we're determined to celebrate with a crayfish dinner.
Pretty insane. Just dropped the anchor on the tender and there's 3 cranes sitting just under the rock we're anchored above.
We've just stumbled across a crayfish haven. We've never seen so many crayfish in one place.
This one's a nice male.
Gone are the vibrant tropical corals. As we drop in latitudes, the cooler climate provides all new species of seaweeds on a unique cavernous bedrock structure, which is perfect for holding the western rock lobster.
You scared me!
This is unlike any ground we've dived before. We collected 2 crays for dinner and headed to the beach to clean them up.
Alright, so we're not sure if the audio was working, but we just had a really strange pufferfish encounter. It's the biggest, I've never seen a pufferfish like that before. I didn't even believe Soph when she said it was one, but then I felt bad. I sort of chased it in the water a bit, seeing if I could pounce on him, but he had beached himself, and then I was like really, felt real bad. We just went for like an exploratory dive to see if we could like hone our eye in on where there might be some crayfish, but we found them. We found heaps of them. So yeah, rather than prepping them on the boat where we'll have chili getting in the way and get mess everywhere, thought we'd come ashore, prep everything up here, and that way it's an easy wash up and we can wash ourselves up as well. So let's prep these little crays up, hey? I'm pretty excited too because they're red crays, and we've only ever caught the tropical like painted crays. So it'll be exciting to try something new. I'm going to process them here, but we're not going to film it because Soph doesn't like filming that kind of stuff.
I'm just going to go run up the beach somewhere. I literally have to, I can't do it. Circle of life. You'd be stoked on that.
I'm excited for dinner now. Mind you, I'm always pretty excited for dinner, but definitely excited for dinner in a different way today. So we're running the engine because someone put a fishing rod in the wind generator. Oh, I accidentally broke the wind generator. We're just going to have a little cray appetizer. I'm just going to do like a little bit of garlic and butter. I kind of want to taste it. Just want to taste it as it is. We've never had these red crays before. So apparently they're meant to be better than the tropical ones that we've seen in the past. So we'll soon find out. Now it's a little bit. Now it's a little bit. Really yum. Good little appetizer.
Well, the rumours are true. We agree that these are the tastiest lobster we've ever tried. We can't wait to get the rest of the gang in the water for a crayfish feast.
Popcorn chicken made out of fresh crayfish.
That is a good way to eat it. We really hope you enjoyed that one, guys. It feels really good to be in such a beautiful location, and we cannot wait to continue exploring the Abrolhos Islands, as well as delving into some really interesting history and sharing that with you guys. So that will be all next time. I'm not going to say next week because as Simon has just had his exam, I have 2 assignments due next week. It's going to be pretty full on for me. I'm not too sure if I'm also going to be able to squeeze an edit in with that. So I'm going to take that pressure off myself and say, we'll see you when we're looking at you. That might be in a couple of weeks' time. So for now, we really hope you've had a great week, a great weekend. Hope you enjoyed the video and have a great week to come, and we'll see you really soon. And a massive thank you to our patrons for making each and every video possible. And also a huge thanks to everyone following along. We get a huge kick out of reading all of your comments, so cheers for being a part of the adventure. Alrighty guys, bye.